Today, we're thinking outside the box, which means we're taking regular ingredients and we're just gonna get creative with it. We're gonna be making things like smoked pheasant with a peppercorn vodka cream sauce. Yeah, I know. Then we're gonna finish that off with cherry delight bread pudding with a whiskey cream sauce. It's gonna be good.
Chef Champion here to take you on a culinary journey I promise you've never been before. I'm here to help mold you, shape you, motivate you, and most importantly, inspire you into cooking like a champion. I'm Chef Champion, but my friends call me Ace. Welcome to the new age of culinary learning. Cook like a champion on this great station.
So we're gonna be showing you how to make this stuffed potato with smoked pheasant. So I know you guys are wondering a little bit about smoked pheasant. It's a wild game. All you hunters out there, I know you bring home a lot of this smoked pheasant home to your wives and kind of wonder, what do I do with it besides just throw it in the oven? Well, my good friends over at Newski's Smoked Meats right here in Wisconsin, they smoke this for hours on hours, which really takes away the gaminess that's in the pheasant, which makes for a delicious meal. You can treat this as a pheasant, or if you don't have pheasant and you have a leftover rotisserie chicken, this works just as well. So this whole recipe is based on, I have a bunch of leftover stuff in my refrigerator. What do I do with it? So I'm gonna show you what to do. So the first thing we wanna do is get the meat off of the pheasant. So I'm just gonna take my knife, and I like the breast meat. Just cut off a nice little piece of that pheasant. I can smell the smokiness in there right now. It smells so good. So good. And you guys always remember, when you guys are cooking in the kitchen, taste your food. You gotta make sure it's right. Well done, Newski's. Well done. So I'm gonna get just a little bit more of that pheasant because I wanna stuff it pretty good. And I can actually just take my hand in there and just pull that meat right out. Gotta love it. Get in there. There we go. So now I'm just gonna take this and give this a light cut. And then I'm just gonna try and shred this the best way I can. And as you see, I'm just pulling it apart with my fingers, no fancy trick. It's how we roll down south. We don't have all those fancy gadgets. We just have our hand and our soul. And I always like to shred things because when you shred it, it seems like it fills up the potato a whole lot more and gives it a lot more body. That's what you need. All right, so now that we have that all shredded up, go ahead and get some of this pure goodness Wisconsin potatoes. For those of you guys that don't know, potatoes are excellent in potassium. They're actually pretty healthy for you. So far so good. We have some healthy pheasant and a healthy potato. So I bake these in the oven for about 50, 60 minutes, covered in aluminum foil. And then I'm just gonna split those right down the middle. Little trick I learned from one of the restaurants is you just take it and lightly slap it down on the table, pinch the edges in, and then it kind of opens up just like that. We're gonna go ahead and put that right into our bowl. Put that out. And then what I like to do is just take a little end of a spoon and just kind of loosen up that potato up in there. So when you go in there and you grab that first bite, you can actually grab a lot of the potato and everything else that's in there. Okay. So now we're gonna stuff that with the smoked pheasant. And that's what I mean, think outside the box. A lot of times when we serve potatoes, what do? We put a little bit of bacon on, a little bit of cheese, a little sour cream, just like everybody else does, and call it a day. Never in a million years are you gonna get a potato stuffed with smoked pheasant, until now. I'm gonna keep adding that to it. That's all part of cooking like a champion. Half of the battle is thinking outside the box. So the way this works is, I use pheasant, and I know in the Champion kitchen, you know, we have smoked pheasant left over, and that might not be you at home, but if you have like a leftover smoked rotisserie chicken, leftover turkey, definitely just shred that up and stuff that in potato, make this cream sauce, and you're good to go. So then I'm gonna top this off with a little bit of salsa jack cheese that I picked up at Schulzberg Creamery right here in Wisconsin. You can find their product either online or in your local grocery store. I like that salsa jack cheese just because it has a little bit of a Mexican bite to it, which I really, really love. A little bit different. But by all means, if you don't have salsa jack, you can use your favorite cheese. I'm gonna go ahead and stuff that on there. All right. So that's gonna go in the oven at 350 for probably about 15 minutes. You just want that cheese to melt on it real nicely. But before we do that, we want to add a little bit of presentation, a little bit of garnish. So I'm just going to add a little bit of yellow bell pepper. And then we're going to top that off, just like that. There you go. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this in the oven. We're going to take a quick break. Don't you go nowhere.
Tundraland baths are built with American pride and come with a lifetime warranty. With endless designs, you'll find something perfect for your home. Call 1-800-TUNDRALAND during our Frozen Tundra sale. Save $500 on your bath or shower system and pay nothing for 1 full year. Plus, get a free luxury shower head and fixtures. Call now and you'll get a $100 Bed Bath & Beyond gift card. It's our way of saying thanks.
800-TUNDRALAND. Tundraland.com.
Feel like a champion. Offering therapeutic and relaxation services. Live like a champion. Lifestyle consultations are available. Revive. Schedule your next appointment with Rachel Champion today, located in De Pere, Wisconsin.
Welcome to Lex Max, your modern African Caribbean one-stop shop, offering a variety of African Caribbean foods and ethnic hair and beauty products. Diversify your taste buds and try something new. Come see us at 140 South McCarthy Road in Appleton, Wisconsin. All right, welcome back. So now I'm going to show you guys how to make that vodka pate cream sauce that I told you about. My potatoes are in the oven. They're almost done. So this is what I want you to do at home. You put the potatoes in the oven with the cheese and the smoked pheasant in there. And once that cheese is melting, we're going to be preparing our cream sauce. So it's all just balanced off nicely. So the first thing we want to do is go ahead and cut up a couple of our shallots. Turn our stove on low. Add in a little bit of this healthy avocado oil, which for those of you guys that don't know about avocado oil, avocados are a superfruit. They're high in all the omegas, 3, 6, 9, vitamin B12, niacin, you name it, super, super healthy for you. So I'm gonna cut up a couple of shallots, and I can tend to be a crybaby sometimes, you know, when you're cutting onions and garlic, or onions and shallots, should I say. So I got these fancy little onion goggles that I picked up at Cook's Corner. So make sure your knife is nice and sharp. Just like I showed you with the onion, we're just gonna make some slices, and we're not gonna cut all the way through. We're gonna leave just a little bit of the onion still intact. And then we're just gonna finish that. Cut this other one up. So as you see, just always remember not to slice all the way through. The purpose of me doing that is so that the onion's not all over the cutting board. I hate having to try and chase the onion all around. That way the onion's all nice and tight. All I have to do is turn it at a 90-degree angle and slice it again, and I have my diced. Always remember, whenever you're sauteing anything or searing anything, make sure that oil is nice and hot. Throw one in there to see how it is. I can hear it, I can hear it. So we'll go ahead and add in all those shallots. There we go. Now we're just gonna add in our garlic. Use one of my little fancy garlic rollers that I picked up at Cook's Corner. You can pick up at your local kitchen store. Give that a nice little roll, and that should separate the garlic. So with this one, I can't use a full claw, so I'm gonna do a little 2-finger baby claw. And this time I'm gonna slice all the way through. And when it gets to where it's pretty close to my finger, I'm gonna fold that over. Let's finish it off. Give that a nice little shake. All right. Then we're gonna give that a nice little rough chop. And I know you guys are seeing my knife skills and you're like, man, you know, I wish I had knife skills like that. Practice makes perfect. I get so many people that say, oh, my knife skills aren't all that great. And I'm like, when the last time you cut anything? Well, you gotta practice to get better. It's all about that muscle memory. You keep practicing, you'll be able to cut like a champion too. I'm gonna add that garlic right there, just like so. I'm gonna give that a nice little mix. I don't wanna cook these all the way because I'm gonna continue cooking them in the sauce. I'm just trying to wake them up. So I'm gonna add in a little bit of this Van Drastic vodka right here, just a little bit, just to say I put some in there, just a little bit. And then we're gonna give it a little flambe. So I know you guys are wondering why am I not cooking on a big stove? I have this nice little BTU burner from Iwatani, and it actually has 12,000 BTUs, so I can cook this indoor, I can cook this outdoor. Very, very good thing to handle. And it's butane, so it's safe for indoors. Nice little mix. So then now I'm gonna deglaze that pan with a little bit of chicken stock, a little bit of cream. And then I'm gonna let that cook up a little bit more. I'm gonna let that come to a boil. Probably gonna let it reduce by half, and when we come back, I'm gonna pull that smoked pheasant stuffed potato out of the oven, and we're gonna top that off with this pate cream sauce.
What children eat today can have a lasting effect on their overall health. Made with Door County tart cherries, Cherry Delights provide a healthy snack and taste delicious. Unlike sugary fruit snacks, these tasty treats are all natural and provide essential nutrients important to growing bodies. Let's help lead the way for our children to make better choices and understand the importance of healthy eating. When they ask for fruit snacks, give them a healthy snack made with real fruit. Cherry Delight dried cherries.
Creative Sign Company and its highly skilled staff have been producing signs and graphics throughout Wisconsin and nationwide since 1985. Call Creative Sign Company today to find out how Wisconsin's highest rated sign company can help brand your image.
Welcome back, you guys. So we got in our oven our potato stuffed with pheasant, topped with that nice Salsa Jack Schulzberg creamery cheese. We're gonna go ahead and finish this sauce. Now, we're using pate, Glorious Malone's out of Milwaukee. They make the best pate ever. And I was never a fan of pate because it was liver, but they actually use organic smoked sausage. Believe it or not, pate actually melts beautifully. So actually what we have right here is your basic white sauce. So just imagine Alfredo sauce infused with the peppercorn pate. So we're just gonna take that pate, and I'm probably just gonna use a little bit more than half. Give that a cut in half, and then another one cut. Oh, I can just smell the peppercorns, and I just got it. That's good eating right there. And I love it because I don't even have to add any seasoning or any spices because all the spice and all the flavor is right here. So I'm gonna add that to the sauce with all those spicy peppers. Now, just in case, if your sauce doesn't thicken up, always have you a little bit of cornstarch slurry on the side, which traditional cornstarch slurry is a little bit of water and cornstarch, but you guys already know how I roll. So we're gonna make a little bit of a vodka slurry. I may need to add this, I may not. Always when you add in the slurry, add in a little bit at a time just to kind of see how it works. Gonna turn that up. All right, while that's finishing, let's go ahead and check on and see if our potatoes are ready. I would say just the way Mama used to make, but Mama never made me a potato stuffed with pheasant, so this is all for you, America. Can you guys smell that? Get up in here, get up in here. Come get you some. I can smell all the garlic, the shallots. I can even smell the vodka, believe it or not. All in there, all working together, coming together as one sauce. I love it when everything works the way it's supposed to work. And that's really how it goes. You get your base white sauce, and you can literally add in whatever you want. You don't want to do the pate? Add in a little bit of basil pesto. Now you have a basil pesto cream sauce, just like that. So it looks like I'm gonna need to thicken this up just a little bit, so I'm gonna add a little bit of that slurry and see how it adds. Always remember I said add in a little bit at a time, stir that up, see how it works. Looks like everything's coming together and sticking it up very nicely. So I'm gonna show you guys a really cool little technique to determine when your sauce is ready. So all you wanna do is dip your spoon in the sauce, and you see how the sauce actually coats the back of the spoon? That's how you know that the sauce is ready. They call that Napa. Say it with me, America. Napa. All right, I think I heard y'all out there. Glad you guys are working with me. In the kitchen with Chef Champion, learning how to cook like one. The last thing we're gonna add is some of that pure salted butter. I always like to use salted butter because then I don't have to add a pinch of salt. You ever get recipes like that where they say, I add a pinch of this, pinch of that? And as you guys know, please use real butter. Don't use fake butter. It's pretty much not butter, it's pretty much just margarine. So just keeping it real with you guys out there. And I'm just letting that butter melt in slowly. Now we'll go ahead and pour some of that pate vodka cream sauce on there. Smells good to me. Come get you some, come get you some. And I put this in a nice bowl, and that way the sauce can kind of just stay at the bottom of it. So as you're eating this, you can be able to just kind of soup up all the vodka cream sauce with the potatoes. So last thing we'll do, we'll add in a little bit of garnish. I took some green onions and just slivered the edges off of them, soaked them in a little bit of water. We're gonna set that right in the middle, just like so. I'm gonna go ahead and clean all this mess up, and I'm gonna show you guys how to make Cherry Delight bread pudding with the whiskey cream sauce.
Wisconsin farmers support an $80+ billion industry that employs more than 400,000 people. Farmers continue to sustain Mother Nature's resources for future generations and create quality relationships with area businesses.
Mark Toyota thanks the farmer.
J-Mar thanks the farmer.
Ansane Associates thanks the farmer.
Central Door Solutions thanks the farmer.
Mid-State Truck Service thanks the farmer.
And we thank you for buying Wisconsin potatoes.
Choosing a good cheese takes years of experience. Let Schellsburg Creamery help you pick the best. No cheese hits the shelves without the Schellsburg Creamery stamp of approval. Look for our brand in your favorite store. Ask for it by name. Schellsburg Creamery, the taste of old-fashioned goodness.
All right, welcome back, America. So I'm gonna show you guys how to make this Cherry Delight bread pudding. I really, really love this recipe because I love making things that are sweet and tantalizing, but still are healthy for you. So my good friends down in Country Ovens, Cherry Delight here in Wisconsin, they make the best tart cherries known to man. As you know, cherries are excellent for your antioxidants. Really, really, really good stuff for you. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on that. First thing you wanna start off with is some nice French bread. So down south in Louisiana, we don't use French bread. We actually use the ends of the bread. And as we're sitting up there making sandwiches, once our barrel fills up, then that's what we use to make bread pudding. But we're going bigger. We're gonna actually use French bread. Okay, so now that we have our bread slices, we're gonna go ahead and have our 3 eggs in there. I'm only using always organic eggs. They just taste a little bit better, and they're really not more expensive than the regular white eggs. So always remember, when you have eggs in there, whisk it up first so you're not chasing the eggs everywhere. So I'm gonna add in probably about 3/4 of a cup of light brown sugar. And then these raisins, what I actually did, I soaked them in the rum so they rehydrated, so they're back to normal. So I'm gonna add that right to it. And then I'm gonna add some of these chocolate-covered cherries, complement of Country Ovens. We're gonna throw those in there. Give that a nice little mix. All right. Now we're gonna go ahead and add in our whole milk. And please use whole milk. I know you guys are out there wondering, can I use half and half? Yeah, you can, but you really want that fat content in there. Then we're gonna finish that off with a little bit of heavy whipping cream. I can smell all of the nice organic flavors from the cherries. They're all just bonding together so beautifully. So last thing we're gonna add is some of this pure cherry juice. Remember, we're trying to be healthy just a little bit. We're gonna add just a little bit of that in there. So this is actually my cherry custard. So I'm gonna soak this bread in there. So if you're thinking outside the box, what else can I use this for? Man, you can make you some French toast and make a cherry bread pudding French toast. You can do a lot of other great things with that. So I'm gonna throw that bread right into there. Then we're just gonna give that a nice little mix, because essentially all we're trying to do is have all the custard soak up all the bread. So what makes this so special is that I'm using tart Door County cherries right here from Wisconsin. Their cherries are known worldwide. And down there in Country Ovens, they're definitely known for their cherries. They also use the cherry juice to substitute to supply all the wineries that are in Door County, which if you guys have never had Door County wine, you need to come down to Wisconsin and try some out. All right, so as you see, it's already starting to soak up the bread. So while that's soaking, we're gonna go ahead and get started on our whiskey cream sauce. So the first thing we wanna add is some of this whole milk. We're gonna add that right to the skillet. And then we're gonna add some of this cream, and as you guys know, this is all locally sourced right here in Wisconsin. They also make some of the best cream in the world as well. Give that a nice little mix. So now I'm actually infused that with a little bit of this tart Door County cherry country oven cherry juice. Just a little bit more. There you go. I'm gonna actually add that to the bread pudding too as well. Add a little bit of sugar. Probably about a 1/3 cup of sugar. And then for my bread pudding, I'm gonna add in a little bit of nutmeg, and a little bit of cinnamon. There you go. Right. So we're just gonna let this come to a boil, and that should take about a minute. We'll go ahead and mix this up a little bit more. And as you guys can see, all the liquid has absorbed in all the bread, which is exactly what we want. And we're just gonna transfer that over into a glass baking dish. I always love using glass whenever I'm baking. It just makes for such an excellent bake. I'm gonna add that right there. And that's gonna go in the oven for about 45 to 50 minutes on 350. Remember, always check it. I would say probably about 10 minutes before. Give it a little jiggle. If it still got a little shake, that means it's done. Then let it rest and finish carryover cooking. So that looks like that's almost done. The last thing that we wanna go ahead and add, oh buddy, don't forget the whiskey. We're gonna add in just a little bit, just to say we put some in there. And I'm not gonna flambe this because I actually wanna taste the whiskey in this sauce. Remember on the cornstarch slurry, I'm gonna need to thicken that up. So I'm gonna make a little bit of whiskey slurry. Now that I have my whiskey slurry done, I'm gonna go ahead and pour that in there slowly. And I'm looking for the consistency of about an Alfredo sauce. You guys see how it's boiling over? Whenever that happens, pull it away from the stove or else it's gonna keep boiling over. And I have this on probably about a medium heat right there. Add in the rest of that slurry. So last thing I want to add in is just a touch of that Madagascar vanilla bean paste. Just a little bit. That was about a tablespoon. And that's going to really wake up that cream sauce. So while that's finishing, we'll go ahead and check on our bread pudding and see what it looks like in the oven. So the story behind bread pudding, it has nothing to do with pudding. I don't know why people think that sometimes. It's actually a crusted bread, soft like pudding filling. So if you ever get a recipe and they put Wonder Bread slices in that pudding, you tell them that that's wrong. They need to watch the Chef Champion show. All right, now it's time to plate it. Remember what I told you guys, presentation is everything. People eat with their eyes, not just their stomachs. So we're gonna take this little fancy cookie cutter and we're just gonna make little circles. And up, it's actually gonna let me pull it right off. So we're just gonna set that right in the middle. Just like so. Always add a little bit of garnish, a little bit of presentation. And then all we're gonna do is just take that whiskey sauce and we're just gonna smother it right over the bread pudding. OMG. I know you guys are seeing this at home. This is a real deal right here. You wanna learn how to cook a champion, you just keep watching this show. You'll get there. Remember, practice makes perfect, you guys. You're never gonna nail it all in the first time. So we're gonna finish it off and we're gonna top it with some chocolate cherry maple bites, courtesy of Country Ovens. So I want to send a special thanks to the Metro Apartments down here in downtown Green Bay, next to the beautiful Fox River. They let me use their beautiful kitchen. I think I did okay. I didn't burn up anything. There's a little something right there, but we'll clean that up later. So you guys always remember, stay positive in the kitchen. I know sometimes you don't want to cook, and I get that, but just get in there and have some fun. And always remember, you got to try, you got to cook, and one day you'll be cooking like a champion. Hopefully that's right after this episode. So get in the kitchen and start cooking, you guys. What are you waiting on? That's our show. We'll see you next time.
Today's show is brought to you by Shullsburg Creamery, Glorious Malone's Fine Sausage, Cherry Delight of Country Ovens, Tundraland Home Improvement.
Cooking Like a Champion is produced by Creative Edge Productions.
Chef Champion here to take you on another culinary journey. Whether you want to cook like a champion or just have a champion cook for you, Chef Champion LLC is your one-stop shop to culinary goodness. We offer a variety of services like private dinners in your home, professional cooking classes, motivational speaking, recipe development, and more. Need your brand promoted? What better way than to have a champion represent your brand right here on my show? Hire me today for your personal Chef Champion culinary experience.